Hey guys, CFA back with you. As you guys know, here at CFA, we are all about treasure hunting. But we are also about family, and we also love history. So we just had to show you this historic find that we made the other day, simply kind of by accident, really. So the whole family went to visit my grandmother. In the future, you're gonna see we're gonna do a little video on her coin collection. So we were working on that. Meanwhile, we were down in her basement poking around, and she had this, what I thought looked like a treasure chest sitting there. There it is. Look at that thing. Does that not look like a treasure chest? So I said, Grandma, what's up with this? What is this? She says, well, that was brought here probably around 100 years ago by relatives of yours from Finland. And I'm like, that's awesome. Because we have, on my father's side, we have a lot of Finnish ancestry. So instantly, we're thinking, about 100 years ago, we're gonna have to take a look at this thing. Maybe there's a date on it. So we start searching for a date. Here's Mrs. CFA, and I'm there, and Taylor, my grandma's there, CFA Jr. We're looking for a date, and finally, on the front of it, we found this. You can see there it's got engraved on it 1880. So we've got this old camelback chest with an 1880 date on it, brought here from Finland by my relatives. I'm already like, wow, this is so cool. So then I say, Grandma, is there anything in it? And she says, well, I don't think so. I said, well, can I open it? She said, absolutely, go ahead. All right, so here we are opening it up. We first opened it up. First thing I see is this really cool lithograph on the inside of the lid. I'm thinking that maybe that lithograph on the inside of that lid could actually help us determine who the manufacturer was of this thing too. Now the second thing we notice is it's full of newspapers. Stacks of newspapers, old newspapers. First one I pick up is from the 1950s. I believe it says 1959. Yep, 1959. Astoria, that's fairly local. It's not too far from where she lives. But the second one I pick up just blew us away. I unfold it and I see VE Day, Victory in Europe. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I look at the date, it's an LA Times. I look at the date, May 7th, 1945. That's right after the Nazis, Germany, had surrendered. We are just astonished that this newspaper is in the basement of Grandma's home. VE Day, World War II, newspaper from 1945. I can't believe it. So we found that, and meanwhile, my grandma's sitting there saying, oh, I totally forgot those were in there. And we're like, whoa, what else is in here, right? So look at the next one I grabbed. There you go, look at that. 3,000 casualties in Hawaii. This one is December 8th, 1941, the day after Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese. I mean, this is just, we are just blown away. I mean, we are lovers of history, and we could not believe that she's got these newspapers down there. Now, the World War II era, late 30s, early 40s, has got to be one of my favorite time eras. Part of that reason, too, is because my late grandfather, who you've heard me talk about before, he's my favorite person of all time, was also a World War II veteran, fought in the Pacific Theater. There's a picture of me and him together on one of our birthdays. Our birthdays were only a couple days apart, so this is, I think I was like 14 years old when this was taken, but yeah, so it also made me start thinking of him again too, right? It's this World War II era historic newspapers we're finding in what was his basement is now my grandma's basement. So it was really cool. But there was one other thing there too that's part of the family history. But check this one out. There was this old newspaper clipping, no date or nothing on it, just a cut out clipping sitting in the bottom of this trunk, this chest. Barely could see it in there because it blended in so well with the shelving in there. So I picked it up, looked at it, and it's a clipping from a basketball game locally there. And it's the high school girls playing the grade school girls. And I'm like, okay, why is this special? Why did somebody save this? So I start reading down the clip, and that name right there says Elsie Cernio. And that is my grandfather's sister. Now, she passed away years ago. Really great lady, by the way. And she was born in 1960. This clip here is when she was in grade school. So it's got to be from, what, the 1920s, right? So we're looking at this just blown away. Grandma didn't even know that was there. She's actually going to send that to Elsie's daughter, who lives up north from here. So she's going to get that to her so she can have that. So that was a really neat find as well. And I also think it's funny that they list her there as a center on the basketball team. Yeah, she was a little tiny lady, so she was not a big lady. But in grade school, who knows? Maybe she was taller than some of the other girls, or maybe she was just real aggressive. I don't know, but I thought that was kind of funny myself. All right, guys, so hope you enjoyed this. Once again, we were blown away. I mean, it was so unexpected. We didn't know it was there. Matter of fact, Grandma had forgot it was there. So the plan now is to try to find some protective covers for these newspapers. Luckily, they've been stored, you know, out of the sunlight and in a cool basement, so they're actually in very good shape. I would love to see if I can find like a protective display case with a UV protective glass, you know, to try to keep them safe, but also so that you can see them, you know, because it's a really cool piece of history. Wanted to share this. Wanted to share some of my family history as well, and this was a lot of fun for us. Unexpected fun. Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep checking that change.